Hi, I'm Danny Walker. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. Today is my Miss Universe 2017 recap. Please be sure to share all of your thoughts about this video in the comments below. Keep them nice, keep them positive. I read them, contestants read them, their families read them, and we want to be really uplifting to all of our contestants that were competing because it is a huge deal to make it to the Miss Universe stage. And I know that all of the girls' countries are so proud of them for what they did and what they're doing in their country and in their communities. So just remember that we want to be supportive to all the contestants with your comments below. And if you have nothing nice to say, then I'll just block you from the channel and then you don't get to participate in the conversation at all. So there's that too. All right, so let's talk about the show overall. I thought that I was just so happy to see it on at the big stage. Obviously not on the preliminary stage.
USA is starting a non-profit education program called Science Exploration for Kids in College. She was a star basketball player growing up and previously coached an all-girls team.
And the production though for me, it was a little bit of a miss because, I mean, staging, lighting, yes, everything, all of that. But I thought it took a really long time to announce the top 16 on stage. And there was like, they would announce four commercial, and I thought that it would be better just to announce all of them, get them there. And then when the girls got to go on stage and compete for swimsuit, we didn't even get to see several of the contestants pose at the end of the runway. It seemed like the girls were just getting cut off. I don't know what it was. Maybe something happened with the editing and they had to just cut everything down. But I was so sad to see that we were missing out on so many of the girls during the swimsuit competition and gown competition. I was bummed out about that because this whole show exists for the contestants, right? That's who everybody is really there to see at the end of the day, right? Like, it was great to have Fergie performing and all of these great hosts and people, but if people were there to see Fergie, they would go to her concert. We're here for the contestants and we really want to see the competition. So that was one thing that just bothered me about the production. The other thing I want to discuss is how they selected the top 16. It was interesting to see, and I honestly don't think it was actually fair that they only chose 4 girls from each, of the continents. So the Americas, Asia and Africa, and then Europe, and then your wild cards. To me, that didn't make very much sense because there were some other girls that I saw that I just thought, oh my gosh, that I thought they were for sure going to be in the top 16, and I wanted to see them compete again. The girl that I really couldn't believe that wasn't up there was Mexico, and a lot of you guys commented on my other video, you're like, why didn't you mention Mexico? It's just because when I was creating my first pre-arrival pics, she wasn't on the website yet, and I was just pulling girls from the website, so I missed her. But she was one of my favorite contestants, and I thought that she was incredible during prelims, certainly enough to get up there in the top 16, so I was really disappointed with that. And another big fan favorite was Iceland, and I'm seeing that on all of my comments on Instagram as all of you agreed. I actually reposted a photo from Road to Miss USA. Road to Miss USA was surprised about Mexico, Iceland, Russia, and Indonesia, and I agree 100%. I thought that those girls would have been up there in the top 16. And like I said, I didn't think it was fair that we're only choosing 4 from each area and then 4 wild cards because there's countries that can be there, but it's twofold because what happened was some of those continents, right, or the areas are not as strong overall. They have a very small amount of Miss Universe title holders to their name, and for whatever reason that is, that's just what it's been. When I saw them breaking them up into the 4s, what we saw happen was if you took, let's say, a weaker continent or a statistically weaker continent, and you picked 4 of their representatives, and let's say maybe only one of those girls would have normally made the top 16 and the 3 wouldn't have ever made it in the top 16 with the old rules. What happened is exactly what we saw last night. You have your front runners and they're gonna make that top 16 regardless. They don't need that continent guarantee that somebody from their continent is getting up there. They're gonna be up in that top 16. So we took our really strong front runners that were gonna make it anyways, and then instead of placing a bunch of other girls who were really strong and good contenders in the rest of the top 16, we took the weaker countries and representatives and we put them in there. We let them all compete for swimsuit once again. And what happened? We knocked out all of the weak countries once again. And that's going to happen every single time they do this if they continue to run the competition like that. And that's just the nature of competition, right? So only the strong will survive. And I was just, really sad because I think that if the other rules had stood, that we would have seen different girls in the top 16, different girls that I thought really earned their spot in that top 16. And that's what I hope to see for pageants in the future and in general is, the girls that stand out, that we give them that chance that they've earned because clearly they've put that work in. And I'm not saying that the other countries did not work hard to be up there or that they are not great representatives. I'm just saying that when you put all of them together at Miss Universe, there are bound to be contestants who stand out. And out of those ones that stand out, I think that if you have competed well, then you deserve your spot in the top 16. That to me is really fair. But now let's talk about the girls that did make it up there. I just wrote them down as I could remember. So China, Venezuela, South Africa, USA, Great Britain, Colombia, Brazil, Ghana, Thailand, Philippines, Jamaica, Sri Lanka, Spain, Ireland, Croatia, and Canada. When I saw swimsuit, I thought that South Africa for sure. She really stood out. You could see how confident she was, and obviously that's just the essence of a Miss Universe, right? Is a woman that's very confident. I thought we saw Kyra stronger than we've ever seen her on stage before. Then again, I've never seen her compete back in the day at Miss DC, but I just thought that she was so well prepared at Miss Universe this year. And other girls that stuck out to me, Brazil, loved her in swim, and she just, for me, just lit up the stage and stuck out. And I was actually surprised not to see Brazil in that top 5 because I thought that she did that well and I liked how she was on stage. I was just surprised to see so many gown changes, but I think it was most of the time for the better. The only one that I actually wish didn't change her gown was Brazil. I was just such a fan of the sleeves that she wore. I really did love that dress for her at prelims, and I thought that the red was great and she really stood out in it, but I was so partial to her preliminary gown. What do you guys think? Did you like the prelims gown for her more? Did you like her finals gown more? I really loved the prelims gown. Maybe that's just because that's something that I would wear. I want to wear that one. Philippines, I thought that she had a really great gown change too, and wow, her body was just amazing. Amazing in her second choice. I did like the second choice more than the first. Canada, I was glad to see her change her gown. You guys know that I was hoping for that, and then it happened, so that made me happy. And USA, wow, yeah, she really did come out sexy, right? Whoa, yeah, that was a whole lot of Kyra on stage, but she looked beautiful, and her dress actually, the cut of it and the bottom of it was interesting. It didn't have a long train or anything, just like South Africa's. So that reminded me of the 90s evening gowns that were actually cut shorter or cut right above the feet back in those days, and it was interesting just to see that style. But really, we've seen that come back a lot in fashion as like 90s inspired things, so that was cool to see that for Kyra's dress, and it was just stunning. Sherry Hill. But obviously South Africa shined, and I loved her final dress and the hair that they did with it. When I saw her, she reminded me of a celebrity, and that's what I felt about her preliminary gown as well. Is it's not like the typical pageant type dress, but it was very well styled. And then when she made the change for finals, the dress really shined, and all I could do was imagine her on a real red carpet. She was so fresh, she was so different, and I really like that. I like that we're seeing the styling change a little bit more, so we're not seeing a typical pageanty dress, but that the girls are really expressing themselves. Or like how Jamaica wore her afro. That's awesome. We saw pictures of her leading up to the event with her natural hair, but it was great to see her keep that for finale and just like let it show. So that was a really nice change to see, and I think that's so encouraging for so many women who are just trying to embrace who they are and trying to, find what beautiful is for them and to be comfortable and confident in their own skin. And I really loved that about the title holders this year, is that we saw such diversity among them. And I know we hear that a lot at Miss USA and Miss Universe now, like diversity, diversity. But it is really great, I think, that when women are able to express who they really are in their appearance as well as with their communication. So I thought that was awesome. And then for the top 5 onstage questions, I think that the questions weren't as difficult as I thought that they would be, but I actually liked that they came from social media and from viewers, because that's, that's who is inspired by our Miss Universes, is the people that Miss Universe or Miss USA are actually going to be coming into contact with, and like, what are the relevant issues to you guys, right? It's really, I just personally believe that our year and our representation should serve a large purpose, and that purpose should be bigger than ourselves, and that means stepping outside of ourselves and being a servant leader. So I just really liked that the questions came from issues that are affecting people who are watching the show. So that was important to me. And then obviously South Africa's answer, it was perfect for a Miss Universe. I was surprised, honestly, though, that Jamaica wasn't first runner-up, especially after her onstage question. And we even heard the audience booing so loud when Jamaica didn't win, just as we did several years ago when Jamaica was 4th runner-up. And that 4th runner-up placement did shock me, because Jamaica has been in my top picks a lot over the past several years, and it just really their placements have surprised me. So I think it won't be long until we have a Miss Jamaica. I don't know if you guys remember back in 2012, though, everybody was talking about Miss South Africa and how she was such a front runner, and she was so beautiful, and she really did stand out to me too then. And I think that sometimes these countries, they just, it's got to be their year and the right girl with the right organization and team behind her. So I don't think it'll be too long till we see maybe a Miss Jamaica as Miss Universe, or a Miss Haiti, or a Miss Colombia again, because they're just sending these strong competitors to that international stage. But I'm just excited to see where the organization is going to take this and what Demi is going to be doing throughout her year. Congratulations to her. I think that she's so fun. I think that she has so much personality, and she's going to be really fun to watch this year. So I'm excited to hear more from her. Thank you guys for checking out this episode, though. Please be sure to follow me on @PageantAccess and @DannyWalker on Instagram, as well as follow my road to Miss USA. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Follow my road to Miss USA on this channel. I love keeping you guys posted about all the things that I've been doing and all the travels. There's so many more travels ahead that I can't wait to share with you, all in preparation for Miss USA, which is just so exciting. So thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Please be sure that you're subscribed, like, share, comment below, and join me for the next one.